Hello everybody, this is Brand. Welcome to an English commentary of the OSL matchup between By.Hero and Fantasy that was played February 20th, 2009. And this matchup, I believe, is Group B. It's Group B. If that's not the right group, it's definitely the group that has got By.Hero, Fantasy, Lita, and the underwhelming Protoss player Tester. When this match is played right now, the situation we find ourselves in is that Lita has defeated Tester, and he is now currently 2-1 in this group. Fantasy is also, Fantasy's 2-0, and By.Hero is 1-1. So, at this point in time, if By.Hero were to defeat Fantasy, then By.Hero, Fantasy, and Lita would be 2-1, and there'd be a three-way tie for first place. They have to play a round-robin playoff. But if Fantasy were to defeat By.Hero here, he is going to guarantee himself a berth into the top 8 of this OSL, along with Lita. So there'll be two very strong Terran players moving out of this group. And let's see, it's going to count down here. 3, 2, 1, 0. This matchup is going to be on Medusa, which I believe is slightly Zerg favored, but it's not that bad. It's basically a little biased towards Zerg players, but it's nothing I don't think that By.Hero can deal with. And here we have By.Hero, the Zerg player. He's going to be spawning in red up there at the 10 o'clock position, and that means we are going to have, there's a By.Hero right there. He looks really young, but all his programs are really young. He looks like extra young, though. And here, of course, we have Lita, Fantasy rather, a very strong Terran player for SKT, and he's going to be spawning at the 3 o'clock position there in orange. So I actually think that in this matchup, I just think that Fantasy is a better player overall. I do not know actually exactly how good By.Hero's ZVT is. I know that his ZVP is extremely good, or else he was just having a really great day, because originally By.Hero was the quote-unquote no-name Zerg who originally knocked Bisu out of the OSL, and then of course Bako hurt his back, and Bisu was able to play his way back in through that wildcard round, just dominating the wildcard round, making it back into the OSL round of 16, and now of course he's moved on to the round of 8. So By.Hero thought he had slain Bisu, but no, it turns out not. And of course Fantasy is a teammate of Bisu's, so I guarantee you that Fantasy really wants to win this matchup, of course, not only for his teammate, but if he wins this, he secures for himself a guaranteed spot in the round of 8, and if he doesn't lose, he's not going to be. If he doesn't win, he's not going to be out, but he's still going to have to, play another round robin against 2 other players to try and get in. Okay, so here we see that By.Hero has scouted the wrong way first with his overlord, but he sent a drone scout to the other position. He is going to, of course, be here with his drone, harassing By.Hero, harassing Fantasy, as Fantasy tries to get up his racks and his supply depot there, and Fantasy having to bring another extra SCV out there just to fight off that drone who is being annoying there. He's actually built his racks and supply depot in a forward position, kind of like, almost like a Protoss fast expand. It looks like By.Hero has gone for a 9-pull there, a 9-pull with gas. So he's going to get in some Zerg wins out pretty quickly. Actually, it might have been an overpull. Actually, that's I can't even tell. I'm sorry. I'm not really sure because I wasn't paying attention that closely. So it's either a 9-pull or an overpull. Either way, he's going to go and get some quicklings out here. And here we see Fantasy floating his racks. I don't know where he's floating. I guess he's going to try and make a wall off. I guess you can do. There is a pretty narrow choke. Yeah, that's what he's doing. So he's going to now move that barracks over there, so he can build another supply depot and a wall off right there. And here we see that By.Hero is sitting down his second hatchery, looking up his racks here so the SUV can get back in. Sitting down his second hatchery, and yeah, this map is slightly Zerg bias, and it's basically just because that middle area is so open and you can't build on it. It kind of sucks for the Terran player when they try and push out. That's a much bigger deal when they're going against Protoss, when you really just need that slow push, that mechanized slow push, and it's so hard to do correctly on this map because you can't build turrets or anything there. It's really easy to get a surround on. It's still easy for Zerg player to get a surround on, but of course, the Terran player can just go an M&M build, which is much more maneuverable, has a much easier time dealing with this map. So it is a little, like I said, it's a little Zerg biased, and we see that By.Hero right now is tagging the layer. He does not have his third hatchery down yet. Might be going for some sort of two-hatch strategy. I do not think that's well advised, even though obviously Fantasy is laying down his expansion. He's doing a fast expand too. He's doing a one racks into expansion, which is very safe since he's walled off on this map. And it's going to be interesting to see whether or not By.Hero is going to go for some sort of lurker-based strategy, or he's going to go for, okay, that's what I wanted to say, that's what I thought he might do, is basically just go for the beetless Harass. And there's the Academy going down, so and the second barracks, so we're definitely going to see an M&M build, sort of FD Terran build, most likely, from Fantasy on this map. And also it looks like we're going to be seeing this Mutalisk Harass. I haven't seen the third hatchery yet, so he could be going for two-hatch Mutalisks, which again, oh, but he gets scouted, so he gets scouted by the SCV of Fantasy there. And if he was going for something crazy like two-hatch Mutalisk, which it looked like he might be, it's going to be trouble for him, because Fantasy sees that he doesn't have the third hatchery, and Fantasy sees that he's building that early Spire, so he's going to be all prepared. He's going to throw down eBay and get some missile turrets up to defend his expansion and his main there. And here's the Zerglings finally cornering the SCV and killing it off. So really, in this point, I really think that three-hatch Mutalisk is a decent thing to do, because that's still going to let you have enough production. And really, I think that a good strategy for Zerg to go for here on this map that I've seen a lot is just the three-hatch Mutalisk, keep the Terran player back in their base where you try and secure a third gas for yourself, a third expansion, which the Zerg player really needs against a two-base Terran. You cannot fight a Terran player with equal economy, two bases on two bases. Cannot do it. You will lose, 9 times out of 10 if you're playing with a pro gamer. But it looks like undeterred, By.Hero is going to go for this two-hatch Mutalisk build. And in a couple of pro matches I've commentated recently, pro league matches, I've seen this build both against C, Terran player, and against Jangbi, Protoss player, from some very, I guess, optimistic Zerg players. This two-hatch Mutalisk build just be completely unsuccessful, and I really don't feel like By.Hero is going to have any better luck with it. If you want this build to be successful, you really have to catch your opponent off guard. They have to not see it coming. Well, too late for that. Fantasy sees this coming. He's going to have the turrets in place. He's going to have the Marines in place, and he's not going to be able to pump enough Mutalisks out to really do much damage here. He might get a couple, SCVs obviously, and be annoying with it, but this is a very all-in build from the Zerg player, and actually he's trying to get in their hatchery up, so it might not be as all-in as that if he just kind of, wanted to get just these six Mutalisks out, just to be annoying with just these Mutalisks, doesn't really go in with it at this point, and then kind of goes over to a more common build. Now he's still going to be behind, and I do at this point give Fantasy the lead in this match, because he's going to realize that there's not more and more Mutalisks coming in. He just needs to defend his base here, throw up a few more turrets, and he's going to be able to push out and put a lot of pressure on By.Hero. Although great Mutalisk micro, picking up the turret on the ledge there, now he's able to harass the mineral line here of Fantasy. Kind of a lot of Marines too. Actually extremely impressive Mutalisk play from By.Hero, I have to say. Normally you don't see this number of Mutalisks do this much damage to a Terran player, but yeah, he has killed off so many SCVs. He's continuing to kill SCVs. By.Hero might take this match. This has been absolutely great micro with a very small number of Mutalisks. I think he only has like 6 or 7 Mutalisks. I don't know if he's lost one yet. Okay, now obviously he's losing a couple, but no, my goodness, so many more Marines dying for Fantasy. And look at Fantasy's mineral line. He has like no minerals, no SCVs, mining rather. Another missile turret going down, only the 2 racks at this point, pumping Marines, and there's By.Hero and Fantasy both swallowing hard there, gulp, gulp. And at this point, it looks like, By.Hero has seen exactly how effective this has been. I don't think he was planning on sticking with a heavy Mutalisk build, but after he got those 2 HP Mutalisks, they did a lot of damage, built a couple more drones, and he was like, wow, I've killed off like all of his SCVs. This is working. Let's keep going with this. He builds another 6 or so Mutalisks coming in here, and this is very surprising to me. I have to say that Fantasy is going to lose to this 2-hatch, now of course 3-hatch Mutalisk build, but yeah, great micro, great positioning with Mutalisks from By.Hero, and By.Hero is going to take down Fantasy for sure. There's even more Mutalisks coming now. He's got like 12 Mutalisks, 15 Mutalisks in the air right now. It seems, yeah, about a control group, more than a control group of Mutalisks, and his racks are going to go down, and that's good game. There's those Mutalisks just coming out of the racks to an instant death. from Mutalisk spores, whatever they attack with, or barbs, something like spore things. But yeah, he's not even bothering to stack his Mutalisk at this point. He doesn't need to. He's not even bothering to stack him. He's just basically aim moving over all of Fantasy's buildings, and I don't know why Fantasy hasn't GG'd yet. I mean, he's trying to get another barracks up at his natural here, which is not even mining gas, and got more turrets up at his main, but it doesn't matter with this number of Mutalisks. Yeah, like I said, he can move over these missile turrets and kill them, and yeah, I don't know what more Fantasy could have done there. I guess he needed some more missile turrets, or he needed to have his Marines in place that are at his main base to deal with this Mutalisk attack, and he's still staying in this game. I don't know why. He's gonna have a hard time fighting that bunker, but actually with this number of Mutalisks, yeah, By.Hero is making this very clear to Fantasy that he does not need to be in this game right now. So good game coming from Fantasy. And I have to say, a very decisive, very unexpected victory from By.Hero, and I am actually very impressed with his play. Maybe he is not just a flash-in-the-pan Zerg player. He defeated Bisu, obviously, earlier in the round of 32, and now he has defeated Fantasy here. So there's going to be a three-way tie between By.Hero and Fantasy and Lita to try and move out of this group, and we're going to have some awesome round-robin action in a couple of the groups here to try and break these ties. So I look forward to commentating on those down the road. Thanks for listening, and good game.